This is Chris Kell with Peak Fitness, here to demonstrate just a couple tools and tips for your upper body foam rolling drills. Now you see behind me I've got a variety of instruments here that we utilize for what we call myofascial release or self-massage. We've got a foam roller, we've got a medicine ball, I've got kind of a rolling stick. You can also use like a rolling pin. And I'm going to show you how to use a tennis ball also. All right? And these are all tools that we can utilize to help to iron out some of the muscle imbalances, some of the kinks that we form in our muscles by working hard, and really just help to release some of our muscles after hard workouts, and then as well to improve posture. So in this video, I'm just going to go over the upper body foam roll, some upper body foam rolling drills that you can choose from for each area. All right, so starting out with our chest, and this is mainly for the men. I find that this is an area, especially in men, that really gets locked up. And this is kind of an awkward area to roll, but what I like to do is utilize a tennis ball. All right, with the tennis ball, a medicine ball. And what the medicine ball helps me to do is just really to get into this area and just roll over. I'm just getting over the ball here, just kind of rolling it over my chest. I'm getting the center of the chest here. This is the pectoral major muscle, all right? And usually you'll find a couple kinks in here. You just kind of want to press into those areas. And then really the main area of focus is the outer portion though. This is called the pec minor, all right? And this is more of the in the anterior part of the shoulder blade. All right, what I want you to think about doing is just really pressing into this area, finding spots that are tight or painful. They'll feel like lumps. They'll feel really bad, like they shouldn't be there. I want you to just stop and really just oscillate over those areas. So just make circles, kind of work on these areas. Once you find this area, you know that that's a restriction that is in your muscle. Okay, that's something that you want to focus on. Maybe spend 1 to 2 minutes a day just kind of working that area out, and gradually over, it's like peeling layers off of an onion. It's going to go away, after several days or weeks. All right, another tool that you can utilize to hit the pec minor in particular is a tennis ball. This is more accessible for both men and women. And what we're going to do here is just place this on the floor, put it over this area, and just once again oscillate, kind of just search around until you find that area. Like right here for me, I'm just going to keep my shoulder blade tucked down and back, and I'm just going to get into that area. Okay, so that's some areas for the chest there. Now moving on to the lats, the outer back here. This is one of the biggest muscles in the body. This is another muscle that gets really tight. For this, we're going to start out the foam roller here. All right, with the foam roller, what I'm doing is I'm putting my leg in front. I'm going to kind of lift my hip up just a little bit. I'm going to use my leg here to just push myself up and down. Okay, and I'm just kind of going over an area from maybe about the top of my rib cage here all the way up to my armpit. So it's like this area here. Okay, it's you're going to kind of feel a bump where, kind of tight and painful. I'm just looking to roll over this area anywhere from 15 to 20 times. Again, stopping and just pressing down into anywhere that feels tight or painful. All right, as well, what we can do to get a little more specific is we can move down to a smaller implement. You can do the same thing with a medicine ball. Okay, and really, because the lat is a big muscle, I recommend, the bigger implement. So like this, the roller or the tennis ball or the medicine ball is kind of what we would be looking at for that. Moving on to the upper back. All right, the upper back is another area that, because we're sitting forward all day, we kind of get into this desk posture, this hunch posture. So what we want to do is extend over the foam roller to help to iron this out. And we can do this in a couple positions. What I'm going to start out with here are just foam roller extensions, where I'm putting my hands behind my head and I'm extending over the foam roller. All right, so again, I'm just staying extended, really rolling over my upper back from about like mid-back of the bra line, just up and down about 15 times. You can also make kind of just small crunching motions over it, just kind of oscillate it as well. And another position that we can utilize are arms straight. This helps us to hit the middle back muscles a little bit better. And again, this is just another position that you can utilize to just change it up a little bit. All right, well, if you want to get a little more specific with that, hit the middle back muscles. Say you're locked up maybe in your rhomboids, those muscles that kind of squeeze shoulder blades together. We can really get into that area with the tennis ball. With the tennis ball, I keep calling that a tennis ball. It's a medicine ball. Okay, and so I can do the same thing on the medicine ball. I can go, with my arms this way, or I can cross them. And we can even do things like shoulder flexion, really a point of restriction to really help to raise your arms over your head and get into that area. Okay, moving on to our next area here. All right, we've got actually our rear shoulder. Okay, and this is another area, like if you have pain when raising overhead, or you find your limited range of motion, oftentimes the posterior rotator cuff from back here is locked up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a tennis ball here and just place it under kind of this area here and just roll around until I feel a restriction. Okay, once I get here, all right, I'm just going to kind of press into it. I'm trying to really press into it, kind of depress it, but at the same time, kind of just relax into it also. Just stop for a minute, press into it, relax onto it, and just, palpitate it for 30 to 60 seconds before moving on to the next area. With that same idea in mind as we were talking about with the ball, you can get over this area and just make shoulder flexion. Just move the shoulder up and down and really just mobilize this area while we're incorporating motion. This will help to kind of work it out and help your shoulder to extend a little bit better overhead. And you can do this all the way down the back, and really get into all of those areas. Let's see, what else do we got here? All right, finishing up here, a lot of clients have talked to me about, tight biceps and triceps. And while this isn't usually an area you think about with the roller, what we can actually do for the tricep is just press down, utilizing the roller, kind of twisting in this way, pressing down into the arm, all right, just kind of using the bicep, just press into that area. Again, and just, find any spots that are painful, just give it about 15 rolls. Same concept for the bicep. Gotta kind of get a little bit more centralized here, but what I'm doing is I'm just rolling up and down like that. I like to roll the biceps more than the triceps because the biceps are connected to the rotator cuff, and therefore they kind of pull on the shoulder. So if you're having shoulder issues and you're doing the posterior stuff, you're rolling your back and whatnot, you might want to throw the bicep in there as well. It'll really help to clear those areas up. But that's our foam rolling primer for the upper body. Post any questions if you have them, and moving on to the lower body.